Alright, what's up? So, it's been a while since I've ridden any motorcycles, and I have garbage just absolutely overtaking my yard at the moment. But I've gotten new garbage to love. And I got a really good deal on this garbage. It needs some love, but say hello to Put It in Reverse Terry, my 1992 Honda Goldwing Aspencade that I scored for 500 bucks. There's some bits missing. They're in the tour pack right now. But this motorcycle is cool as hell, dude. It has 114,000 miles on it. And I am super stoked for this thing. Now, the size difference between that and my Softail, which before that Goldwing, this is the biggest bike that I've ever had. This thing is an absolute behemoth. The windscreen is almost as tall as I am, dude. It has 2 places for your passenger to put their foot. The armrests swing out. It has reverse, and you can't really see very well, but it is also, someone named Terry owned this thing beforehand. It has a trailer hitch, dude. So the previous owner had some really janky wiring on it. He had brow lights, all kinds of stuff on this bike. I've already ripped all that out. I threw in some fresh gas, threw in a battery, and it fired right up. Upon running, this motorcycle pisses a little bit of fuel out of down these tubes right here, hence the shop rack chilling over here. So I'm gonna pull the carb and I'm gonna rebuild it just to be safe. Clutch doesn't engage. There's not a whole lot of feeling there. So I gotta bleed that. Brake pedal, a little on the squishy side. On these, the brakes are linked with that pedal to the rear caliper and the left front caliper. So I gotta bleed this. I've replaced this master cylinder, so I have brake pressure now, at least on that caliper, because it had none of it. And in order to move this thing around and put it in trailers and roll around, I wanted to have it at least be kinda safe. But I'm so stoked to be able to talk about this motorcycle now. I was working at a dealership at the time where we actually picked the motorcycle up, and I was fortunate enough to be able to get the motorcycle. I was fortunate enough to be able to be just at the right place at the right time to be able to get such a good deal on this bike. So it sat in the dealership where I was working at the time, and I wasn't going to be... So I bought this bike back in like late May, early June. So I wasn't about to be doing a bunch of filming in the dealership about the motorcycle. Some of the other goodies are in here, but this thing came with a service manual. And I am super stoked about this bike, dude. But I gotta take you for a rip because it's been a few weeks since I've ridden you. I've been working on that. You kinda give me problems sometimes. And I still have another Honda I gotta fix. But yeah, 4 of my 5 vehicles are all in one place, and it is a disaster.
Alright, now let's see if you start. It's been a few weeks since I've ridden you. Come on. Looks like we're doing this the hard way. I can't even blame the bike, because this is absolutely my fault.
One eternity later.
So that didn't work. After about a week and 1 And one freshly purchased battery tender later, I'm gonna charge my motorcycle. You know, I haven't ridden my bike throughout the entire month of October. Like, that's the most I've interacted with that thing and moving it around so I can get my Goldwing over there. And trust me, I'm no stranger to neglecting some of my vehicles and not touching them for really, really long periods of time, but I gotta get better at that. And this battery tender is the first step. I have the plug for it already on the bike. The dealership that I bought the motorcycle from, they install them on all the motorcycles before you leave with it. So all I gotta do is plug this bad Larry in. Unfortunately, my yard doesn't really work super well for that, but you'll see what I mean. So anytime you've seen me do any kind of work or anything on my vehicles, it's been over in this corner, right? So here are my vehicles that I have here. There is my Harley. There is the closest outlet on the other end of that basement. So here's how we're gonna do this. Okay, so let's read these important safety precautions about using a battery tender. Do not expose the charger to rain or snow. Good enough. Use of an attachment not recommended or sold by the battery charger manufacturer may result in a risk of fire, electric shock, or injury to persons. Skip to 5. An extension cord should not be used unless absolutely necessary. I think this is pretty necessary, if I do say so myself. And man, I am glad I got the 50-footer at Harbor Freight. Also, you like my outlet situation over here? This is definitely rated for it, but it's gonna be okay. Or it won't be okay, and that won't really be my problem, now will it? Yeah, other precautions, don't care. Hopefully my bike works. It may be a little half-assed, but I really don't have a whole lot of other options. Yeah, I'm gonna let that sit overnight, see what happens.
The next day.
All right, come on, girl. Yeah, that code is probably for the charging system since I haven't ran the thing in a while and I tried to start it a few times since, but we'll clear that. I'm gonna go to the gas station now and put some air in those tires.
You know, I literally just got done saying in my last video how I don't really like spreading videos over like multiple weeks unless something super specific happens. And what do you know? Literally, the next video. It winds up being spread out because I'm dumb and irresponsible. It'd be like that sometimes. But yeah, Forgotten Angels. Obviously, I wasn't able to get down there. Just a lot of things I needed to take care of at home that were a little pressing. But it looks like everyone had a great time. I miss you guys. It became kind of like a personal battle of trying to save a little bit of time and money going down. I was sitting here genuinely considering to myself, you know, I could iron butt this trip down there. Because it's about 1,270 miles from my house to Valrico, Florida, right? And I made the drive with stopping to eat a bunch of times and getting a little lost and taking a nap at a parking lot in Virginia. I made it at 25 hours, so like I could probably iron butt it down there. It was at that point in time I'm like, you know, maybe it's just not the move. Because I haven't even like ridden a motorcycle that far yet, so I did buy a bunch of crap that make the trip a little bit easier. Like I bought some handguards. No, don't get me wrong, I hate the way handguards look on this motorcycle. It's not for me. But removing a little bit of that wind chill from the hands would be mint for the drive, right? I bought heated gloves, I bought a bunch of extra batteries, like stuff like that. But it just didn't really shake out to work. But there's always March. And in the beginning of the year, I have much more vacation time that I could use, so I can really just take my time and not fuck myself up. In the meantime, I have to work on my Goldwing, right? I gotta get that at least like rolling around safely under its own power, so that way I could ride it to a storage unit and put it away for the winter. Because like, yeah, my yard is not exactly like great in the winter time to be keeping motorcycles. Alright, so yeah, what other products do I have? I have stuff that I would love to do to this motorcycle. However, I don't really want to dick with this bike too much until at least after I make one trip down south on it. I have the ZX6R frame. I have my Civic. There's shit to fix on both of my cars that are in my driveway. I have all those guitars to piece together. So I'm going to have a busy winter. But that's where I'm going to leave you guys. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I'm going to attempt to. It's about beer 30 for me. I will see you guys next time.